So I'm gonna show you how I feed my sourdough starter. This is my sourdough starter. I've had it for about a year. You're going to want a food scale, spring water. I use the Ozark brand because I feel like it works better with my starter. And I do warm it up a little bit in the microwave. You don't want it extremely hot, just a little bit warm. Your starter will love it. And then also spatulas, a marker, and I'll show you why in a minute with the marker. So I'm gonna get a bigger jar just because I'm gonna be making some bread. So if you're not making bread, then I recommend just having like a little starter instead of having this huge starter that you have to keep feeding like a bunch of flour and stuff. And then, so I recommend doing it in a smaller container and just feeding that just a little bit of flour and water. So let's feed my sourdough starter. The jar that you are putting your starter in, you're going to want to measure it. So let's go ahead and measure it. And I'm just going to put 471 on the bottom. Later, when I want to know how much starter is in my jar, then I can just subtract from the weight of the jar. I'm going to discard half of this. So let me do that real quick. Okay, so I discarded half of it. You can see there's not that much in here. I need to weigh this out. This is 133 grams. This jar is 121 grams. So you're gonna take the grams right now, so it's 133, and then minus the jar, which is 121. So that shows that we have 12 grams in this jar. I'm gonna add water in here. Since this is 12 grams, I'm going to do a little bit over 12, so I'm just gonna do like 15 grams of water. Oh, I did a little bit more, 18, it's fine. And then take it off the scale and mix it. And you wanna make sure you get the sourdough off the side, just because it's easier to clean later. And then it will form like this liquid, milky water. Okay, so now I'm gonna put it in this new starter jar. So now this is saying that it's 25 grams, just because I did add a little bit more water than I was supposed to. Add some flour, and I use King Arthur bread flour. And I'm just gonna zero this out. And then I'm probably gonna just do like 30 grams of flour. Then let's give that a good mix. Might need to add a little more water because I kind of went over. And that's fine. You can just, you want it to like a cake batter consistency to know that you got the right consistency. And this is not enough to make bread. I'm gonna feed it in the morning, like a really big feed. I just moved over to the jar so I didn't have to do that in the morning. So this is probably 25 grams of water, 30 grams of flour. And you wanna make sure you mix all that flour in there, just because you don't want it to be sitting at the bottom of your bowl because it could mold. There we go. So then it will look like the bread batter consistency. It's pretty thick. I never really do a 1-to-1 ratio. I usually do like 1-to-3 ratio or 1-3-3, just because I noticed when I did the 1-to-1-to-1 ratio, which would be like 10 grams of my starter, 10 grams of water, and 10 grams of flour, my starter would not act right, and it just was not liking it. So that's why I changed it up, and it's been loving it. And it gives it a good rise when I make my bread. But yeah, that's how I feed my starter. Tomorrow when I go to make bread, I will make sure I have like 250 grams of sourdough starter in here. And if you guys want a video of me doing that, I can do that as well. Just let me know. But yeah, that's how I feed my starter. Hopefully this helped a little bit on your sourdough journey.